Attorney Jonathan Elson, reminding you that if you've been injured in an auto accident, it's important to have somebody on your side. When you need a lawyer,
then you need Nelson.
First up was Raelyn Powers, who's running for Nye County Treasurer. Incumbent John Prudhomme, who abruptly resigned 2 weeks ago, says he'll remain on the ballot, though he declined to participate in last night's debate. Powers explained why she's qualified for the job.
For the past 3 years, I've been managing the operations of our Nye County Treasurer's Department. I also have a background in accounting, finance, and auditing of 30 years experience. I also conducted bank reconciliations for the state of Alaska, Child Support Enforcement Division, and handled their operations as well. I believe ethics, honesty, morale, all of that goes hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. Sometimes you have to be brutally honest with individuals, even if you know that it might hurt their feelings or not be the information or the news that they want to hear.
Next, the audience heard from the Republican candidates for Nye County Commissioner District 5, including incumbent Debra Strickland, Dee-Anna and William Simpson, who spoke about special interest groups.
I'm going to listen to everything that everyone has to say. That's the job. You know, they bring you their special interest and they say, hey, I would like to move forward with something. Well, unless it's good for you guys, it's not going to happen. It's just not what we do. Our job is to look out for you guys. What can't be bought? You guys hear that statement before? You know, that's where I sit. I can't be bought. I'm not interested in your special interest if it's not in the special interest of the people.
Special interests are by nature a special interest. I certainly want to hear what their interest is and how they feel that in their mind it's not a special interest. But no, again, everything that we have to do for the people.
Special interests are not friends of voters or residents or even commissions. They're out for one thing, and that's money, and it doesn't matter what we have to go through for them to get paid. So no, I don't work with special interests ever.
And finally, voters got to hear from the two Republican candidates for Nye County District Attorney, incumbent Chris Arabia and challenger Brian Kunzi. In this exchange, the two sparred about the number of cases being prosecuted.
I would say my first primary goal in taking over the district attorney's office is really to start to get the numbers back up to what's actually being prosecuted. And it's interesting that the pandemic is now being used as an excuse for why cases haven't been filed. The reality of it is every agency across this state has been prosecuting cases, but what we see here in Nye County is very disturbing numbers from the standpoint of how many cases are actually getting prosecuted.
First of all, I'm not trying to win a prize for racking up the highest number of cases filed. There is a notion of efficiency. Since my administration was attacked, I would respond by saying that under my opponent's administration, they lost something like 14 or 15 jury trials, which is an astonishingly high number. And that's part of a lack of proper screening and vetting and knowing, what cases need to be negotiated and what cases can go to trial.
One, I don't think that number is even close to accurate as far as cases in which there were acquittals on trials. But the other thing is that it's also a very false number, because the reality is almost every one of those cases that went to verdicts that got acquittals was actually being handled by the Attorney General's office. It was a person who was embedded in my office, but they were handling all the crimes against children. And unfortunately, I had no control over how those cases got prosecuted.
Nye County Assessor Sheree Stringer also appeared on stage to answer questions. Her opponent, Wayne Buck, chose not to participate in last night's debate. Stringer spoke about her availability and willingness to answer questions.
Well, I have an open door policy. I'm there Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. The only time you will not find me in my office is if I'm sick, on vacation, at a conference, or in another meeting. My staff will tell you that I'm there all the time. Sometimes they think I'm there too much. But work ethic is something that my mother instilled in me, and I have always done that, and I will always do that. I think it's very important to be in the office.
There is one more debate next Thursday evening when voters will be able to hear from candidates for County Commission District 1 and 4 and Nevada Assembly District 36 and Nye County Recorder. Like the first two debates, that one will run from 5 to 9 p.m. at the Bob Ruud Community Center.